Anyway, I'll flip it around. We've got some different trains running this evening. We've got the AC-44I, a streetcar, and also the B-class locomotives. And if that's not good enough, we've also got Chloe and Nerf Cat here this live stream. Anyway, I'll quickly set it to live chat here. Hopefully some people will join in. Just gonna adjust some settings in the background and yeah, wait for everyone to tune in. We've already got TJC Turtle. Welcome, what's up? Not a whole lot, how are you?
Hello. How's it going? Good, and you? Who are we with today? With SMT, Miss SMT, and Nerf Cat.
Anybody doesn't believe me about Nerf Cat being the foreman? Just looking at me, he's checking on the computer.
He wants to go.
He's gonna file my taxes for me. I already got 67 people watching. Nathan Dang, first time, welcome. You're running Amtrak P42. I don't see why not. Love your videos. I've been watching since I've trained myself, and I like to model railroad like you. That's awesome. Bonjour, ça va? People are speaking French for you, Chloe.
Oh, damn. Hold on. I need to put the computer down.
Okay, cat walks on it.
Okay. Bonjour.
Run your trains at max speed. All right. Time to put the pedal to the metal.
You want that, Cat?
Hello from Maine. Good old Maine. Probably going to be traveling down that way pretty soon. I built a trolley line that was inspired by yours. I tagged you in the video. I'll have to have a look for that. That's awesome. I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out. I'm quite pleased with the results, but I've got to admit, when I was ripping up part of the layout, I was a bit intimidated.
Can you run the big boys?
Yeah.
Yes. SMT, your videos are great.
Thank you.
Hello from beautiful Ohio. Sorry. Hi.
Hello from Ohio. Welcome. Is that the Brazilian locomotive? Yeah, it's the AC-44I. I intend to open up a couple more of those. Just going to turn the speed down because the blue box is a bit loud. But yeah, I've ordered a couple other AC-44Is, and I'd love to do some more unboxing videos. Hello from Australia. Welcome. What's the best lubricant for your model trains? I pretty much just use Labelle products. I use Labelle 102, 106, I think 108 as well. And I find that covers the range pretty well in terms of viscosities. 106 is a grease, 102 is a light oil, and 108 is a heavy oil. So if you have a locomotive with metal gears, go with 106 and 108 because you want a higher viscosity. But if you're using plastic gears, just go with 102. I find it will get the job done. Labelle is the best product for sure. They have a very good reputation. Hello from Michigan. Is Nerf Cat qualified and trusted to handle all the trains? He's delivering food to himself. I mean, he does quite a bit of damage to the layout, but I'm just happy he's around. So yeah, he can mess with as much equipment as he wants. If he breaks some stuff, that's fine with me. Only the good die young, so you know what? If he does damage to my layout, that's bad, and to me that's a good thing, you know, because he'll stick around. Been watching your restoration videos, they're pretty good. I appreciate that. Got another one on the way right now. Here's a sneak preview for everybody watching the live stream. Currently fixing up the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Some of you might have seen this. I put it in a community poll. And right now I'm trying to get it running again. Good afternoon. I was wondering if you'd considered buying a Kato track pack for an N-scale layout. I have 4 and they are very good quality. I also remember when you had 10,000 subscribers. Well, thank you so much for sticking around so long. It's not N-scale, but I did buy a whole bunch of Kato track packs. I'm going to try Unitrack for the first time and build a layout that way. And I'm really curious to see how it's going to turn out. What's really interesting in the process of building a layout with Kato Unitrack is that Bachmann Easy Track, in terms of steel track, is cheaper, but Bachmann Nickel Silver is actually more expensive than Kato Unitrack. So I'm very curious to see how it stacks up against Easy Track. Do you like Thomas the Tank Engine? I do. I watched the show on VHS when I was a kid. I don't remember what episodes, but I did enjoy watching it. Hey SMT, I may or may not have caused a major derailment at the Model Railroad Club today. I was running my train around the layout and the rear DPO tipped. There's a video on my channel. It's very good quality, even the HO scale stuff. Well, I can't speak for the track myself because I haven't worked with it. I have heard a lot of good things about it, but in terms of their locomotives, I've had quite a few good experiences with Kato products. They have a good reputation in the community, both for HO and N. Kato track is the best. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm excited to try it out for myself for the first time. Is Nerf Cat your cat's real name? His name around home is Sook. But I usually just call him Nerf Cat. Can you make a video of the Lionel HO scale locomotive being fixed? Absolutely. I'm excited to work on that engine. I haven't worked on a modern Lionel HO. I've worked on the older stuff from the 70s, but that's as much as I've had experience with. Because the Lionel HO from the 50s is just River Rossi, which I love, but it's not its own thing, so it's a bit different. I went rail fanning today and I caught 9 Canadian nationals. Love their paint scheme. I like it too. Run a Spirit of 76. Yeah, I think we can make that happen. I don't know how well this one runs. I've got quite a few Spirit of 76 locomotives, but this is the first one I picked off the shelf, so I'll try to set it up hauling the freight train here. You should run the wheelie locomotive. That sucker is hilarious. Yeah, for sure. How many trains do you have? Around 500. Here, Chloe, do you want to take over the chat here?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Hi. Good evening, Harrison. SMT, do you have any recommended fix for Batchman split gears?
I mean, for some of them you can glue them back together, but honestly, just replacing the gears with gears from a junker engine is probably better. Some people are starting to 3D print gears. I don't know how great they are or not. This thing seems pretty rowdy. Yeah, it's not half bad. Earlier, I was at a party and I saw a BNSF freight train. The second unit was a Ferromex. Those units are in Mexico. Also the one's eye, and then I'm guessing there's more to that comment. Yeah, I don't have any of the Ferromex diesels on my layout. I should add at least one. I've got some DM and E stuff, I think it is. Hello from Sweden. What's your opinion on Nickelback? I like them. A lot of people hate on Nickelback. I don't really know why. I have a lot of hot takes, though. I also like steak well done and pineapple pizza. So, you know, maybe it's just being a bit of a contrarian. I don't know. Do you ever build a European layout in the future? I'm open to it. I'm thinking about doing that for 3-rail AC stuff. I actually just ordered a AC train set, so yeah, we'll see. I just bought the Creality K2 Plus 3D printer. Very good print speed and quality compared to the K1. It also has a 350 diameter, 1-inch print size, cubed. Very good for printing cheap buildings. I've got to say, with my own 3D printer, I've been quite impressed with the print speed on that thing. I've actually had to slow it down because for smaller objects, it actually kind of misprints because it's going too fast. But for printing really large objects like those bridges I was building for the layout, it's very impressive just how fast it gets them done. A pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, but everyone to their own. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Everyone can do what they want. All I'm saying is that, like, some little cubes of pineapple, a little bit of bacon, you roast that in the oven, the pineapple becomes like candy. And I actually think it's pretty good. I used to think it was a bad idea too until I tried it for the first time, and then I was like, you know what? This stuff isn't too bad. 4mm bacon. Canadian bacon is the same as the bacon they sell in the States. The Canadian bacon is P-mill bacon, but not too many places even serve it. Norman Corey, I like pineapple on pizza. Yeah. We got some other people in the chat who are on that team. We run the Brass GS4. If it will start, sure.
You have a good taste on pizza, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Sausage on pizza is good. Yes, that's true. Somebody says you should, Radical Rock says you should add some olives with the pineapple and ham. Add some nice salt to all the sweetness.
Well, don't get me wrong, like, a pineapple pizza is not my #1 favorite. All I'm saying is that a lot of people hate on it and I like it. My favorite pizza is an all-dressed one. Like, just cover the thing in as many toppings as you can, except anchovies.
I want pizza now. Oh, you got a super chat from Edie Beatty GR. Haven't seen any running on the other side of your layout. Still sending you trackside accessories soon.
Okay, I'm not sure where the Brass GS4 is, but thank you so much for the super chat. A ham, jalapeno and pineapple spicy Hawaiian is my favorite. Yeah, a few jalapenos, they make a difference. You have to be careful though. You get that 1 in 10 jalapeno, and that's the superpower one.
Oh yeah.
I've had that turn on me a couple times.
Meat lover with black olives.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What do you think about Bachmann? A lot of people think I hate Bachmann. I don't. I find that they overprice things compared to what their quality is, and I mean, they have made some junky products like that train set that I unboxed recently. But they're cheap train sets, the ones that they're selling for like $120. They're not the highest quality, but I actually don't think they're too bad. What's your opinion on flannel shirts?
They're great.
I like them.
What do you think of Tyco?
I love Tyco. They didn't make very high quality locomotives. Well, I shouldn't say that actually. The Tyco Mantua stuff was good. Tyco Power Torques, they're junk. They're not well made locomotives in my opinion. But they made such cool stuff like the Spirit of 76 locomotives, the Golden Eagle, the Silver Streak, the Canadiana. Like, they just made so many cool things. I can't help but love them. But are they reliable? Definitely not.
What's Nerf Cat's favorite locomotive? I don't know.
No idea.
We should ask him.
He's terrified of motors, so.
That's true. What is the weirdest engine you have?
Probably the custom-made ABA set. Just gonna take the Spirit of 76 off. It's a great engine, but it's a little bit loud.
Love the channel. If I had some more time, I'll be doing something train related too.
Right on. Oops.
Oop. Oh, another super chat.
The old Tyco Shunner Santa Fe, red and silver, was a torque master. I don't know if I've worked with it. The ones with the silver top?
I don't think we've gone to that super chat.
No, that's a
There you
new
go.
one, but
Okay.
thank you for the super chat. And then we got a very generous super chat from the average modeler. Morning from the United Kingdom. What is the most unusual thrift store locomotive you've had? I haven't found too many trains at the thrift store. I did find something at a antique kind of thrift store, which was an old Alco. It was $3 and it ran right away, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's probably the most unusual bargain engine I've found. I don't know. I've been to a bunch of thrift stores in the area. I've yet to see any model trains there. How much time did it take you to finish the layout?
Oof.
Well, I've been working on this layout since 2007, but it's not really a good timeline of events just because it's been rebuilt so many times. Like, there are layouts I've built for people 4x8s, and I've managed to get them done with kind of like a time period of about 8 months. So if you have enough time on your hands, you can build a layout really quick. I mean, that one layout I built for my friend Liam, since there wasn't any real detail to it, I was able to build that in a period of about 3 days. I actually want to do a video where I build a layout in 24 hours. So early in the morning, I have to like drive out to the hardware store, buy the lumber, then go straight from the hardware store to the hobby shop, buy all the track I need, and then just assemble it all. That would be intense, but I want to do it.
Nerf Cat Crash Train.
I've spent 8 total hours installing DCC sound in a horrible Bachmann Spectrum 210-2, but it's worth it. Should have taken an hour, but it's a Bachmann, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, I'll have to agree with you on that. I mean, if an engine's DCC ready, it's usually not too much trouble, but yeah, if you have to hardwire it in, on most engines it'd be easy, but on the bigger ones, I could see how that could become complicated. Fun fact, the blueprint for my HO scale layout was based off SMT's layout. I didn't have any ideas on what to make. Well, if you've built that, send me a picture of it, because that'd be cool to see. It's funny though, because when I built the layout for a friend, the original one, there were a bunch of people that said they were going to make copies, and then I'd said at the end of that video, like, you know, send me an email with a picture of it. I never heard anything back. But I have found some people on YouTube who are building copies, and they've tagged me, so that's kind of cool. And this one day, this was really weird. I was browsing Facebook, and I was part of like some different model railroad groups, and I'm looking at this layout, and I'm like, this thing looks exactly like the one I built. And then I read the tag from the post the picture was from, and it said, "Hey everybody, I'm building the SMT layout." And I was like, no way, that's so cool. What's the best way to clean your layout in your opinion? I usually just take a vacuum at really low pressure and kind of, I remove all the cars and figures and then just gently vacuum everything. For the buildings and figures and stuff, I just take a paintbrush and just run them over the top, and I find that does a pretty good job at removing the dust. Just pull them away from the layout so you get the dust on the floor, and seems to get the job done. The grass, unfortunately, I find you have to kind of just replace every so often, but if you glue it down well enough, you might be able to vacuum it and get more life out of it. Where are you located? Do you know a good train store near Sherbrooke? I don't know any good train stores around Sherbrooke. I've been out that way. It's actually where I found my Oldsmobile, but I don't know that part of Quebec very well. I saw a video of somebody mowing a carpet. Well, it's a good way to make sure that the fibers don't end up in your locomotives. Mm-hmm. Hey, SMT, I've arrived to ask a question about painting a model. I think this is going to be the first for me. An ATHG Union Pacific SD70M to become Union Pacific 1616. What and how I paint and prime the locomotive? I'll be honest with you, I'm not a very knowledgeable person when it comes to painting. One tip that I have been given, which is really helpful, is sometimes what you can do is you spray on your base layer, but before you put on the second layer, add all your stencils, so add all your painter's tape, and then spray another layout of the original layout, or original color. So like, let's say you're making an engine which has a second layer which is blue, but the first layer is yellow. Spray another layer of yellow over the painter's tape, and then what that will do is it will make a seal, and then you spray the blue on, and that's really good advice. But other than that, I'm not too knowledgeable on painting, to be honest. Have you ever been to the Model Train Museum in Kennebunkport, Maine? I have been. I did a short on that. Dan the Man, thank you for your excellent train videos. I appreciate how much effort you put into fixing old trains instead of trashing them. Thanks, it's always the goal, you know, see if you can bring back stuff without putting a million parts into it. "100% disabled veteran, that room is bound. I enjoy watching your videos." Well, thank you for your service. Have you heard of the channel Jeff's Trains? It's a small channel, but it has some great N-scale content if you ever need some help in N-scale. I haven't seen his videos, but be sure to check him out. He showed me the Polar Express. I haven't unboxed it yet. There's a hobby shop in Drummondville, Quebec. Why don't you have trains going in different directions? I don't know. We could definitely make that happen. Hello from Salt Lake City. Welcome. How many heritage units do you have? Just asking. I think I have 2 of them. Did you see the tornado in St. Louis? I can't say I have. To my girlfriend, every train is the Polar Express. We all watched it growing up. Can you relate, Chloe?
Yeah.
Hello, Harrison. My wife and I, plus my daughter and son-in-law, are taking a trip to Vancouver, BC, Halifax the next week, a 2-week train ride across Canada. I will wave when we're in Ottawa. Well, looking forward to seeing you visit up this way. That's awesome. I've been across the country once. I was out in Vancouver back in 2021. I didn't have the luxury of traveling across country in a train. It was my friend's sketchy van, which you know was a good experience. Honestly, it made for some really good stories. But when we were traveling through the prairies at one point, there was actually a tornado forming, and that chased us part of the way. But if you've ever seen the video of visiting, I think it's called Trains and Such. I believe that was the name of the store in Calgary. That was part of that trip. And I was very thankful that first of all, that I made it home, but also that the trains made it home, because those were all being stored in a roof rack. And I thought the tornado was going to take the roof rack off the car, and that video would never make it out. So it's a miracle those trains are around. But anyways, enjoy your trip. Hi Harrison, I like the videos on fixing old model trains. Question, how many feeder wires do you have on your HO scale layout? I don't have any feeder wires. I do have, well, kind of. I have wires running from this side of the layout to the other, so there's a wire under this set of tracks which links up here and it connects over there. Just because Pico switches are electrically isolated, but the rest of the track is all just soldered together. Do you have any Rapido stuff? I've got a couple Rapido wraps. I've got a Rapido LRC and also a couple of Rapido diesels from Canadian Pacific. So you still have your E2 locomotive? Yep. Josh says, I live in Calgary and you're correct, trains and such. P.S. You should come back. I would love to go back to Alberta. It was a great time while I was there. Do you use flux when soldering? Every time. And it's kind of hard to solder without it, honestly. I'm trying to resell trains. What do you recommend I do? If you're just trying to get rid of stuff, if you're part of any train clubs, you could just go there and offer it up. If you're trying to make a bit of money, you could take your stuff to a train store and they'll kind of argue, they'll offer you kind of like a basement value for whatever your stuff is. So you're not going to get the greatest amount of money, but it's a way to get rid of stuff. Another really popular option is Facebook Marketplace. So you can just post it on Facebook Marketplace in general, or you can also join some Facebook buy and sell groups, and that's a pretty good way to kind of get in touch with people. But you know, once in a while too, you know, you meet somebody who's kind of getting into the hobby, and you know, if they're getting started and you're not looking to really get anything for your trains, you can just gift it to them, and it's not a bad way if you just want to offload some stuff. Because there's two groups of people. There are some people that have bought really high-end stuff and they want to resell it. And then there's others who just want to get rid of some unwanted things they have. Can you run a DD40? Yeah, for sure.
How many CSX locomotives do you have?
I have 3 of them.
Is this still your basement or garage? The lighting seems different. LOL. This is still the basement.
I think I left the DD40 in the garage. I'm just going to go run and get it. The EHM BL2 is the best HO scale locomotive ever made. Well, they are reliable. What's your preferred type of coupler? For me, I like horn hook because of how simple it is. I mean, it's an unpopular opinion, but I really like horn hooks as well. There's not really a spring to break. I mean, I know technically they have like a wiper, which is a bit of a spring, but they're not really... There's no metal spring, which I find nice. So yeah, my 2 favorite couplers are horn hook and Katie whisker knuckle couplers. So it's kind of all or nothing proposition. I'll go and find the box of couplers I use. Let's move this forward a little. Oh.
Where did you get the skills to fix model trains?
Mostly trial and error. I don't know, when I was a kid, before I, had a YouTube channel or anything like that, I was just working on stuff, and I made a lot of mistakes. I still do, but taking something apart, excuse me, You learn really quick how things work when you just disassemble something and try to put it back together. A good example would be this coupler. I don't know why that's not working.
Bless you, SMT.
Thank you.
Do you have any Thomas and Friends characters?
I have some of the old wooden stuff, but none of the modern like HO stuff. Anyway, this is the type of couplers that I usually use. So yeah, if I'm not using old knuckle couplers, well, if I'm not using horn hook couplers, these are the knuckle couplers that I really like, and these things are pretty expensive, but you see how they're spring loaded, so you don't have to put a spring in the pocket, and you know, they're pretty solid. The metal ones last a lot longer. I just bought 2 Intermountain brand HOGE locomotives. One has Iowa Interstate DCC with sound, and the second one is a Heritage Fantasy GM&O red and white with basic DCC. Sounds like a couple pretty sweet locomotives. Whiskers, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your last name. You see my comment on this live chat? I don't think I did. Hey SimT, I've been thinking about repowering a dummy Athearn blue box F unit. Anything I should know before getting started? Asking an expert here. Repowering in a dummy engine. With other brands, I probably would be concerned, but considering it's a blue box, honestly, I think it should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I would probably replace is the motor mounts. If you can find the newer ones that actually have screws on the bottom, I think those will work a lot better than the conventional ones. But other than that, I think it should be a pretty straightforward process, honestly. Hello from Bradford, Ontario. Welcome. Hello from Nova Scotia. Current time is 10:22. Just wanted to ask how your day is going. Also, please visit Nova Scotia when you have a chance. I think it's a beautiful province. I agree with that. I would love to visit there. And as for how things are going, not too bad. How many potato cars do you have?
What are potato cars?
I don't know if I have a potato car. I should put one on the layout. Bud the Spud would be proud. Have you ever been to the Canadian National St. Clair Tunnel near Port Huron, Michigan? I haven't been there, no. I have been to Michigan. I've been to Ann Arbor. It's actually where my dad was born. But I think that's about as much of the state as I've seen. Well, and I was also in Detroit, but that's about it so far. Speaking of travel, do you have any reason to be out in Manitoba anytime soon? If so, come and check out the beautiful 145-year-old steam locomotive. If I'm ever up that way, I definitely will. I love Canadian bacon pizza. I have an old Athearn locomotive I picked up from a hobby shop. It runs rough, but there is rust on the inside. Any idea how to make it good? If you're willing to really dig into it, one thing that you could do is take all the parts and soak them in vinegar for like a day. And the vinegar will destroy all the rust. And then what you do is you put the rusty parts in water mixed with baking soda, and that will neutralize the acid. So it will prevent the vinegar from not only eating away the rust, but also eating away the metal. And then if you dry everything off and coat everything in an oil of some sort, it will prevent future rust from popping up. And It's the best way I can think of getting rid of the rust. I mean, I've even soaked DC motors that were rusty in vinegar, and it hasn't done any damage. So yeah, I don't see what's wrong with it. They were used. I bought one at a proto meet in St. Louis area, and another was bought at a train show in Madison, Wisconsin. Can you show the AC44i? Yeah. There she is. Still going strong, almost 2 years after I bought it, which is good to see. Can you run the Canadian National GS4? If it will run, I'll try to get it going. It was pretty rough last time, I'm not gonna lie.
Your layout is an inspiration. When I decide to build my layout, I hope it looks like yours.
That means a lot. Thank you. Do you have any CSX -8s or 9s? I have a -8. 2 of them.
I'm a fan of the vintage HO locomotives. Something so special about them.
They are.
Can you run a little 040 on the trolley track?
Yes. I forgot I installed an knuckle coupler on this. Okay, let's see if the old lass will be sassy. Oh yeah, I love it. I didn't even hesitate. It's wobbling all over the track, but it's moving. Hey, you know what I'll run on the inside circuit? My brand new Chinese transport train.
Hey SMT, this is the winner of the Christmas display contest. Did the locomotive stutter on DC current, or is it my track? Thank you for the locomotive. Oops.
I never ran it very much on DC because it was a DCC engine. I did program the decoder before I sent it out to run on DC, because in that video, the only time I actually had it running was on DCC. If it's stuttering, I would guess it would be because of track, but if you're having problems with it, I'll see what I can do to get it going again, but I will say it was running well before I sent it out. Okay, so I guess the flanges on the 040 are not a very big fan of the track work here.
Chloe, would you ever prank Harrison next April Fool's by telling him you found a mint condition green River Rossi high water?
That would be a really cruel prank. Please never do that.
I won't, I promise.
I'd sit down and have a really good cry. I wonder if the other one will run on the inside circuit.
Hello, Chloe. Hi, Dundas Junction model. Are James?
Yeah, it's James. You met him
Oh yeah,
when we were
that's
in
true.
Smith Falls. Okay, the other one doesn't work. I can't think of a train I would like to see you run. All right, Sparky, I'll get the one you want.
Sparky says hi, Chloe. Dot dot. Oh, hi. Apply.
Yeah, it is whoopalai. Oh yeah. Good grief.
Ronald,
Yeah, there we go.
we might be going to Quebec in October. James says that.
Well, if you're headed up this way, let me know, James.
Sparky says, I can't type your name without seeing the sausage on the bun, Chloe. Dot dot dot. And the giggle you gave after.
Talking about that god awful picture he took of me. The first time I'm running this train on my layout, I can't say I'm too impressed.
It's giving you problems.
Something's not right with this.
Do you like Oreo cookies? Of course.
Love Oreo.
Sparky says I had to post those videos too. Haha. Hey, Harrison, you should run a train at Sparky speed.
For sure. I think the 040 is derailed again. See if it re-rails itself. It's just going around derailed. I guess it can just continue like that. That's fine. And it's back off the track. What are your thoughts on modern O-scale locomotives? I personally find more hype to run compared to HO scale or MTH. I tend to agree with that. I mean, to be fair, I haven't worked with a crazy amount of modern O-scale stuff, but like the really old O-scale stuff, you know, kind of pre-war and post-war, like pre-1969, that stuff's mint. It's not the most realistic, but it runs forever. The stuff after that is okay. I ran my trains at Sparky speed for a bit today. Do you have any Norfolk Western? I don't think I have number 611, but I do have some general Norfolk Western engines, at least in N scale. What's your opinion on the Milwaukee Road? Well, I'm kind of biased thanks to the Hiawatha. I don't know a crazy amount about the Milwaukee Road's history, but I like a lot of their equipment. Did you hear some Canadian group is trying to restore Canadian Pacific 484-3101? No, I hope they do though. That would be great. Should use the proto throttle. That's a good idea. Have you seen the movie Under Siege 2? I can't say I have. Chloe, you have to talk SMT coming down to the meet and greet this year, a dinner date on a moving train. Best date ever.
Ooh, when is that?
I think that's the whole meet that's going on at some point in August, if I'm not mistaken.
Oop. One train down.
Stuff
August 22nd to 24th. Oh, well, we'll look into it. Disney train is August 23rd. Is that written there?
Dinner train?
Oh, dinner. Sorry.
The
Dinner
Diddy train. Hey Harrison, I recently inherited some of my grandfather's model railroad collection. A lot of the locomotives are damaged. I'm not exactly sure what to do with them. Any advice on what to do? Well, I mean, if you're willing to fix them up, that's what I would personally do. But if not, you know, see if you can find somebody in the area. You know, it might mean a lot to someone.
Dinner train.
A Diddy train. Hopefully not that.
Isn't it dinde French for dinner?
Isn't it déjeuner?
What?
How do you say dinner in French club?
Souper.
Is there not another way to say it?
No, it's because
Oh,
people
you
get
mean
mixed.
lunch?
No, it's because people dîner for French is lunch. It's not.
Yeah, but is it
Supper.
déjeuner or is it different?
No, okay, wait. Déjeuner is the morning. Dîner is lunch. Souper is dinner.
Okay. Thanks for the clarification.
This might be a bit confusing for some people. But yes, I don't know why our lunch is dinner for English. Dinner, supper, damn, it is food on a moving train next 16 dining car.
How often do you run trains versus have an actual operating session where you switch sidings and all that jazz? Probably 100 to 1. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I haul some cars up to the Hershey factory, but that's about it, to be completely honest. More often than not, I'm just running stuff around the layout.
Does Chloe know how trains work? No.
No, she's an expert.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm actually more an expert than SMT actually.
Chloe actually advises me on my repairs. I couldn't
Yeah.
have got this old Lionel running if she wasn't here.
Yeah, I'm the manager of this whole channel.
Let's see the Hershey factory already.
Easy, put them on the track, turn the dial, they go.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but does he mean also repairing them?
Oh, for sure.
That part, not so much.
So here's good old Hershey's. Here's something, I don't know if anybody's gonna remember this, but I'm sure somebody watching out of the 200 or so people currently in the chat, someone's gonna recognize it. So maybe some of you out there visited Smith Falls, maybe some of you visited Oakdale, and maybe if any of you are from Pennsylvania, you went to the original factory right on the bottom here. But at one point, this was the kind of trifecta of different Hershey factories. You can see the California one and the Canadian operation, considering they're both made in the 60s, are kind of similar. And then the Pennsylvania operation is just massive. It's probably like double or 3 times the size, these facilities, but still kind of cool. But they used to give these out, I think, for free with every tour. So maybe some of you out there remember these little pamphlets.
Oh, somebody's asking if you have any French locomotives.
French locomotives,
If you don't, you need some.
sure I do somewhere. I mean, I don't... Well, yeah, I do, because I have the TGVs. Those are French.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Somebody said TGV is French. Casey says for the oh my god, I don't know how to say this word.
Magnetizer?
Yes, machine. Do you just put the magnet in or the entire assembled motor? I've heard doing it without the armature ruins the magnetic field.
Well, I think this whole thing about removing the magnets, destroying the magnetic fields, I have not seen that happen. I've pulled so many magnets from motors and I have not noticed any difference in terms of current draw, so I believe that's a myth. Whether or not it's good to charge up the entire motor itself, I do agree that you should put the entire motor assembly. The only reason I didn't when I did that video is because the Just Beacon on Fire is kind of a special locomotive. I don't know how they built this, but basically you actually have to disassemble the motor structure as well to pull out the shafts under the motor for the worm gears to pull out the motor. So you have to disassemble the motor to take the motor out. It's a bit of a backwards thing. So that's why in the video I pull out the magnet. But on a regular locomotive, I think you should just leave the steel intact. Anyway, in terms of French locomotives, right here we have the Ouigo.
Nice.
But this is France French. It's not Quebec French. So,
right.
you know, in France they would call this the Ouigo, and in Quebec they call this the Wango.
Good evening, SMT and Chloe. Hope you are having a great weekend. I have a YouTube channel about running trains. If you would like to check it out, my name is Willow Junction.
All right.
Nice.
I thought it was called the Wango. Well, Chloe, you'd do a better job at pronouncing it.
Actually, yeah, I think Sparky's right. Because it would be like, well, no, not spelled that way, but like, well, wait.
But pronounced.
In Quebecer or?
Yeah, Quebec French.
Wango. No, actually, I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
The Wango.
Yeah.
That's how when I was working at the sandwich shop, that's how it always was. I'd put to get something together. I'd ask somebody a question, they'd be like, what? Enjoy the repair videos. Thank you. The potato cars, the red and white, blue, state of Maine. Oh, so it already do have a potato car. Wow, I'm kind of ignorant. I also found out too, because somebody sent me a Bangor and Aero stock car. I pronounced it Aero stock. The amount of New Englanders in the comments saying it's not Aero stock, it's a Roostic. It's a Roostic. I haven't been that up, like...
yes, exactly, Thomas.
I haven't been that part of Maine before. I've always been more on the, you know, Kennebunk side, the Arundel side and stuff. So, you know, apparently if you're from England, you pronounce it Arundel, but I've always known it as Arundel. But I haven't been up to a Roostic before, so the first time I had heard that myself. Go. What did they say?
Go gadget or whatever.
That's it. Go gadget. Oh crap! The facility derailed again. I love that show. Can you run a candy themed train? Yeah.
Ooh. So, okay, Harrison, as Canadians, we can laugh at the rest of the world for mispronouncing Newfoundland constantly, too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no, my baby!
What? Should I do something?
Oh no! Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I just saw it fail so catastrophically. Nobody can see this from the other side. Okay, so you can already see that, you know, the drivers are not looking so great on that side, but it's a million times worse. Brace yourselves. The wheels shouldn't be tilted 45 degrees out.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh. Yeah, I wondered how long that would take to happen. This thing is tough. It held up longer than I was expecting, but I think it's time for a rebuild. Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
I feel like I need like some sad trumpet noises right now. My sweet little GS4. Well, I think that's it for that. Wow, that was
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. is right. I didn't think it was gonna fail so bad.
Somebody says a new video?
Yeah, probably.
Not Jesus, a JS?
Not Jesus, a JS.
What's JS?
A GS4.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on. Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh.
Run the fireless steam locomotive for sure. We need something to run now that that thing is running.
I think I know a future video. Yeah.
And all of you were here to witness the failure.
Yeah,
This is a special
exactly.
moment. This is history in the making.
Chloe, can you guys run a cool heritage unit? Just asking. I think that's what he's searching for.
Yes.
It's coming.
I'll get this thing going while I look for the fireless engine.
Well, folks, in today's video, we are repairing this steam locomotive.
So sad. It held up for a while though. I think I repaired that thing in 2023 and it was a janky repair. The fact it's held up this long, I mean, up until it derailed and, you know, the wheels popped off, it was running pretty solid.
Oh, you got another super chat.
Are you gonna get a Norfolk and Western J-Class, or if you found one, can you run it? Well, I have a J-Class and N-scale, but no HO ones.
Oh, sure, that's what they all say. It ran great before the catastrophic failure.
Yeah, well, like, let's say I was a person who sold stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I would say, oh yeah, this thing ran great before it was parked. Mint condition, I know what I have. No lowballers.
Casey says, well, folks, in today's video, we are going to be repairing this ancient, dry, rotted nylon axle gear. These are complete hunks of junk, but I'm sure we can milk more life out of this part for a video.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna live whether it likes it or not.
Sparky just sent you gas money to get to Waterloo in August. Thank you.
Now the Wango has derailed.
Where is Nerf Cat at? He was here at first, but he went back upstairs. But if you go at the beginning of the live stream, you'll see him. Oh, we forgot the candy train.
Yeah, well, I was looking for it, and then the princess got destroyed.
Oh, you got another super chat. Gamers United Forever. Do you have a personal favorite American railroad? Mine is Texas Central and Pacific.
What was the question about a railroad?
Do you have a personal favorite American railroad?
Yeah, BNSF. Oh no!
Jesus. Oh no, there's a piece that went running. Sparky says, now make sure he brings you, tell ya the best date he will take you on, and I will be there. Great.
Where'd my wheels go?
It went right there. Here.
Wow, the
Fell apart.
damage count is real right now.
I just got here and boom, instant failure.
Well, that's a pretty normal day on the channel, you know?
Oh my god, what is going on?
I don't know. Really ramping it up. Take this thing off before I roll that off the layers from now. Still looking for that fireless cooker. I haven't forgotten, by the way.
Oh, Sparky says you needed more things to fix. Getting short on videos, are you?
Exactly. It's all intentional.
Everything is going wrong today. Did you walk under a ladder or step on the cracks in the pavement of something?
I did walk under a ladder, yeah.
Oh no. No wonder.
The garage is full of ladders right now. My family's obsessed with them. We've got like 5 different ladders.
Chloe, what music do you listen to? I mostly like country music. Also pop. And I don't know, pretty much a little bit of everything. But especially country.
I've got to say though, one of the weirdest experiences, like when I didn't know you as well, it was the first time you had me over.
Yeah.
Your friends were like playing all like the high school hits in French. It was really weird because I've been English my whole life, so I wasn't around to hear all like the 2011 best hits of Quebec. So it was weird because it's like I'm watching all these hits and you can tell the era of the video is like 2011, but it's in a different language. So it's like I was watching stuff from back in time, but from a different universe.
Was it like Mixmania or something?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
His girlfriend Chloe. What? Oh, somebody asked who I was. Thank you, Sparky. Hello, Ryder fam. Sorry. SMT, you should listen to Sticks. Stikes? I don't know how to say that.
Season of the Sticks.
Headed out, SMT and Chloe. Have a great night. Have a great night too. Do you have the Candy Team Train?
Well, I've got the Hershey's engine on.
Oh. And he kills me.
I can't
Sparky.
find the fireless cooker.
And she likes sausage on the bun and the... We'll never get rid of this one. What is your favorite train that you own?
The Hiawatha. SMT, run something Canadian. All right.
I hope you don't have a black cat near your layout. Something else could go wrong.
Well, my grandmother had a black cat for
That's true.
many years, and she's still around.
Nerf cat is... Well, no, he's gray.
Nerf cat's not a black cat, but no,
he's close.
my grandmother used to have this sweet little cat named Daisy. She was so nice. But she looked like the kind of cat you would see in like a haunted house film.
Good evening from West Central Ohio. Sorry. One of the few times I catch you while you are running. Well, good evening to you too. How many sound-equipped trains do you have?
Probably about 30 or 40. Oh man.
Ooh.
See if this old junker will start up.
I like the color of that one.
It's a cool engine. I found it on eBay and I just couldn't help myself. This was like a $20 engine with shipping. It was very affordable at the time. Seems pretty loyal too.
Yeah.
Running DC or DCC? Currently running DC. Actually, I could run the scale trains engine off DCC.
How can you tell
though.
the difference?
It's just the type of controller.
Oh.
But don't say that at a train club.
Okay. SMT has enough trains to fill a train store.
Oh, for sure.
That's true. For sure. Hey SMT and Chloe, I bought my first house 5 months ago and I really want to build a layout, but I'm kind of paralyzed by where to start in terms of building. So far I've got an idea of a design.
Well, congratulations on buying a house. I mean, if you can buy a house, I feel like you're more than set up to build a layout. Where to start though? What I would do is get some inspiration and put together some kind of a list. Like write down what you want and do some research, and then just go from there. Like start buying some materials and just start laying stuff out. And you know what? If you make mistakes, no regrets. Rip it up and start all over. Because I feel like the problem is that people get so caught up in the planning phase, they never actually start to build something. And don't get me wrong, planning is definitely an important part. Like, you want to do some basic planning, because if you just start building stuff right off the bat, you might, you know, mess things up a little too far. But you know what? Making small mistakes, it's easily, you can undo anything. And yeah, I just start building stuff and kind of get a feel for it. 'Cause with every layout video, if you watch them, I come up with a plan, but usually by the end of that video, the actual product is different from the plan. Because when you're actually putting things together in the real world, it always works out different than it is on paper.
Casey says, Harrison, you should make a video of explaining model train terminology to Chloe so that we don't sound weird to her.
I don't know if I'd be a really good person for that, because I'm always screwing stuff up in terms of terms. I don't even know how I messed it up, but I somehow called an AC 4400 a -9 in a video. Like, it was only after I uploaded it, I was like, oh crap. All these Conrail locomotives are mine. I just need to visit and bring a big backpack. James is asking what you're buying me for my birthday.
Oh. Well, your birthday's passed. What did I buy you again? Oh yeah, an air fryer.
An air fryer. Cook a steak and chicken wings.
Yeah.
Fries.
I forgot for a second.
It's been a godsend. Layout guys, so far I've got an empty basement, some 2x4s, a drill. I want to model some airline Milwaukee, a new bike trail. It's really my childhood home. Well, my advice would be download Google Earth if you don't already have it, and use the time feature to map things out. I always love using Google Earth. You can just go back in time, just see how things used to look, and you can take measurements, which is really important. Another great tip for the planning, don't ballast your track until you're fully comfortable with how it is. It takes more effort to change the track when it's been ballasted. I agree with that a lot. Definitely get comfortable with your track. And that's why sometimes on this channel, you'll actually see videos where the track isn't ballasted for months after I lay it out. It's because, you know, Casey's right. You want to make sure that everything is functioning properly. Google Earth started 1 year after the railroad by my house got ripped up. Yeah, it's unfortunate timing. Do Americans have steam rail tours where they run steam locomotives on the main line? If so, how frequently do they happen? I wouldn't be an expert on that. I know they definitely do run steam locomotives on the main line, but I think it's mostly steam engines that are owned by the railroads themselves. When will you guys get a house for the layout? I don't know. Today's market, that's a great question. I mean, I've saved up a good sum towards one, but it's very tricky trying to find something in a good price range.
It's a challenge.
What's the red, blue, and white box car? I have one similar. It's really heavy. It's a state of Maine box car. What's the train sitting on your track you never run in your videos? I have the same one with my model from the 1970 Santa Fe, based off your layout. That is a 040 my dad got when he was a kid. The motor burned out of it, so it just sits there. It does technically run, but it needs work. I'll be an electrician if you do. I appreciate that, Sparky. Were you disappointed when you found out the Addams Family train wrecks are stock footage? I never knew that, actually. I mean, I'm just happy they included them in the movie, but no, I never knew that. Are you watching the Leafs game? I'm not, but my sister is, actually. She and her boyfriend are big hockey people, so yeah, they're watching the big game. Buy the shed we seen in the 2 locos, put in an apartment in it. I'll be the electrician for that. Well, at this point, I think I will just buy some land and plant a gardening shed on it. It'll be fine. I would actually love, you know, if I can find somewhere off the books enough just to build like kind of a town of gardening sheds. Start a gardening shed community. I'll just live there. But I have a feeling regulations might not apply for that. All I can say is wherever I get a house, there better not be an HOA, because I can say from all the stuff I'm always wrenching on, an HOA would definitely not like me. Are you interested in art, anything related to it? I I like art. I mean, it depends on what, though. I mean, everybody's always like, oh yeah, art is in the eye of the beholder. I completely agree with that, but at the same time too, I really don't understand modern art. I went to Ottawa actually has a really big art museum, and we went there once, and you know, they just had like a stack of boards and things like that, and I just don't get it. I love when a Ryobi impact gun perfectly shears in half. Well, I haven't had that happen yet. I think modern art tends to be running money laundering schemes. I've heard that too, that they create a piece of art and then they overvalue it so that somebody can write it off on their taxes. I don't know that system fully, but it would kind of make sense as to why there's so much garbage modern art. So you look at something like Da Vinci created, and you can tell a lot of effort has been put into it. And you look at modern art, and it's just lazy. It's like, let's throw dirt at a canvas, and we call that art. Like, I liked what Red Green said about modern art. He said, if I can create it, it's not art. And I think that's basically saying, if it's lazy, it's junk. What would you consider art when it comes to trains?
Repairs.
Well, in terms of nice looking locomotives, I'd probably say like the old GG1s, especially in the original PRR paint scheme. Those are pretty nice. The Hiawatha, the New York Central Hudson. A lot of the old streamliners, honestly. Next art piece is an oil leak from my 2006 Craftsman lawnmower. Yeah. Just put a canvas out on the floor, you'll have $1 million piece of art. I've seen the HOA horror story Reddit videos on here. That's why I would never want to be part of an HOA. I mean, technically my family is part of an HOA because we have a cottage in Maine, which is run by a homeowners association, and I mean, we haven't done a single modification to that cottage. It is exactly the same as we got it. And we've had troubles with that HOA because, you know, we had towels. We were hanging towels outside the house to dry. And the HOA showed up and said, oh, no, that's, what did they call it? Disorganization. That's disorganization. You're going to have to bring those inside. Mm-hmm. Will you ever do a video on your vintage Oldsmobile? Probably one day. I don't think it would be on this channel. It'd probably be on one of my other channels. But yeah, if I can get it running a bit better, I don't see why not. I finally found the timing marker. I'd lost that for a while. I'm pretty stoked to have that. So, yeah. Could an HOA have authority over a railroad company? Well, I did see a video recently where CSX, I think, derailed a train in somebody's yard. And the people that are living there have just kind of accepted it. And they've actually built a garden around the locomotive. But I'm guessing if you were part of an HOA, they probably would come knocking and tell the homeowners to remove the locomotive from the premise. Run a CSX locomotive. Yeah, sure. Do you still have the rail car? If I can get a spot to run it in August. I still have it. I don't know if it works. I haven't run it since 2020. I'd have to check. I still have the engine and everything, but it has been disassembled a bit. Do you have a preference on running trains clockwise or counterclockwise? I don't really care one way or another. I can ask Ontario Sutherland, see if you can run their tracks at night. If you want. I don't know. I just don't know what kind of condition the speeder's in. I mean, it's been sitting outside for a long time. Run them in opposite directions. Just what I was thinking. He has a trailer. I don't have a trailer. I could probably borrow my sister's truck.
Or mine.
That's true. I hadn't thought of that. I always forget you have a utility trailer because I'm always just thinking of like hauling cars and things like that. What are your other channels, or is there somewhere to see them on the SMT page? I don't think they're linked to the channel directly. One is called SMT Other Things. There's not very much content on there though. It's all kind of garbage. And then I also have my old Minecraft channel. It's called Creeperish Originals. If you want to go see some of the stuff I was doing back when I was a kid, it's on there. But that's about it. I think I should start up another channel. Maybe it could be called SMT Shortline.
Shortline.
That's where I'll post all the random content. I don't think I have a TH&B Locomotive James. I definitely have a car though. Let me look.
When are you going to start a Discord server?
Never. Been there, done that. Good riddance.
Well, you've heard it.
I'm sorry, James. I can't find the Toronto Buffalo boxcar. Not boxcar, but hopper.
My meet and greet is open to anyone, by the way. Just check out the videos and sign up videos on my channel.
Yeah, go check out Sparky's channel.
Yeah.
Anybody who hasn't been there.
For the meet and greet. First video I posted it.
Have you guys seen the video series of the guy who put a K-truck on the rails and took it down an abandoned railroad in Idaho? I have seen that guy's videos. I don't remember the name of his channel. It's a really big channel. I think he has like 1 million subscribers, but really cool series. I like those little K-trucks. My friend's girlfriend actually owns one of those. Not a railroad version, but just a regular K-truck. They're kind of neat vehicles, and he did a pretty good job making that work. I think recently too they built another version where they made like an electric gardening shed that runs on abandoned railroads. That was pretty cool too. Running 0 for 0 on the trolley. Okay, I'll try that again. See if this, I don't think it's a
So
River Rossi. What would this be? A Mahano? Not a Mahano, Mantua. Let's go the other way. It's the first train you ever had, Canadian National GP40, I think. Oh, the engine started back up on its own.
Time for me to bail.
Well, thanks for...
Have a great night, everyone. See you in August 22nd to 24th.
Thanks for stopping by,
Have
Sparky.
a great night.
I also like classic model trains from Montana. Yeah, Ron's a great guy. Watched a few of his videos. He makes pretty good content. I actually spoke with him on the phone because a lot of people want us to do with a like some kind of a collaboration. We haven't sorted out what we want to do there, but yeah, I can say from talking to him on the phone too. He seems just as genuine. It'd be a cool collaboration. If anybody has suggestions on that, feel free to send them to me or Ron, because we were joking that, like, I don't know, he could half restore a locomotive and then send the other half for me to finish, or, you know, I could paint half an engine and he could paint the other half, or something. But you know, we couldn't kind of come to a solid conclusion on that. So yeah, if anybody has any ideas on that, I'm all ears. I have the same CSX GP15-1. Yeah, it's one of those Walther's Trainline ones. Pretty solid engine, I've got to say. I just discovered that this GP20 has a cracked pivot. It'll certainly be fun to fix. I wonder why someone decided to throw it out. I'm sure the sucker who pulled it out of the... I'm just the sucker who pulled it out of the bin. Cracked pivot. James is asking if he can send you a locomotive for repairs. I don't know. Does Chloe's repair shop open?
Sure. I can try my best. I don't guarantee anything though. And I will be supervised. Is the Super Chief still operate? Yeah, it's still going. Let's see if we can run it. Tell Nerf Cat I said psst, psst, psst.
He'll love that.
You will love that.
Well,
Will do.
I don't want to sound mean. He would have loved it. He can't hear anymore, but
Ah, yeah, that's true, actually. But
in spirit, he would love it.
yeah, well, in spirit. Do you have separate DC controls for each line?
Yes. These two operate off of this controller, and the main line operates off this controller, but I can shift it. So if I click this, well, right now it's running off the DCC layout, but if I double shift, you see how they both start running off this controller? So I can run all three tracks off of one controller. It's just better to split it up and run them off separate controllers. It also gives you a bit more control. Do you have a Class 66 from the UK? They were made in Canada, and I have a nickname for them called The Shed due to them being so common in intermodal freight trains in the UK. I don't think I have any Class 66s, but I never knew they were made in Canada. That's pretty wild. I saw a picture recently. I don't know what museum this is, but it was a museum somewhere in England, and they had a Canadian Pacific caboose there, which they had modified to be able to hook up to, the British engines with buffers. And it was so strange, like, seeing a piece of Canadian equipment with all this British stuff. And I really wonder how it, like, ended up there. I'm sure there's a story online somewhere about it. But, yeah, pretty cool stuff. It looks like it's off a model railroad. Anyway, I'm just going to get these cars off the main line here.
Oops. Sorry, guys. That was my foot.
Did I derail something with the Super Chief? I heard something click over there.
I could not tell you.
I'm just going to stop it and let the CSX go by. Otherwise, it's going to wipe it out. Oh boy, this is going to be cutting it close with the CSX coming around. Woo! I knew that would happen.
Accident. Is the We Go still on there?
No, the We Go was taken off a while ago.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Alright, so we're gonna have to time this thing to not crash into the CSX freighter.
Oh boy. That poor CSX.
So now we go full tilt.
Eee.
And then I'll stop it right around
Sorry.
there.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm just going to slow down the CSX a tiny bit, because I think what I can do here is if we get it running slow, we can probably get them kind of like countersynced. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna time this. So we're gonna let the CSX go by, but I think the second time we're gonna get them kind of running in counter rotation, and it's gonna be seamless. So now, if the CSX is running slower, I think this thing should be able to lap it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is still a little too fast, but if we put it at like 75%, I think it's gonna stay in good time with this. It's pretty good on that side. Hopefully the CSX will make it around that corner before the Santa Fe comes back around. Close but no cigar. Let's try it at 50% speed. So I'll start it here. Ooh, that's pretty close. I heard the CSX clip the Super Chief there. But I think from here on out they're gonna run in perfect balance.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Nope, looks like I'm wrong. How old is your original layout, Harrison? Did you originally build it? I've been following your videos for a few years now. So you're looking at the original layout. It's been rebuilt a few times, so how original it really is I guess kind of debatable, but this was built in 2007. And the table itself was basically part of a charity auction. So what happened was me and my sister, we were going to a nursery school, and to raise funds for the school, people could offer something up, and a carpenter offered up so many hours of free carpentry, basically, and some supplies. And so my parents basically bid on his service, got the table built as a birthday gift for me there, and then me and my dad were the ones who actually laid out all the track for the first time. And since then, it's probably been built about 10 times, and then in 2012 we added this section on, and then pretty much the rest of this I all built myself. But the original layout was a family effort. Isn't the town the original layout? Yeah, it is called Dunderville. Good memory. What happened to the unstoppable engines? I still have them. As for the real ones, I think they are owned by Canadian Pacific. How many engines do you have? I think around 500. Oh man, that's close. There we go. What's with the Quebec flag you have? Well, I'm from Quebec. Channel's based in Quebec. I have the girlfriend from Quebec. No, I wonder. Yeah, just fast enough to make it around. How long have you guys been dating for? Since 2020.
Yep. Almost 5 years.
Have you ever seen Disney Pixar's Turning Red?
I don't think
Is that about that girl that turns into a fox or something? I feel like I heard about that. I definitely never, I never saw the movie though. Somebody was telling me about that. What's the biggest crash you've had on the layout other than the Acela? I don't know. It's too many to count. Have you ever seen model trains in a hospital? Oh, I can't say I have. How do you guys meet? Well, crazy turn of events, but basically what happened was in 2020, there was a big riding event happening at a farm in Ottawa, and it was a poker pace, so you're supposed to kind of run around. You get different poker cards, and it's a big game, but you ride around as a group. And I think they were really just trying to fill up spaces at the farm, but they invited me. They were like, it's a $200 ticket. And I was really unsure because I was like, $200, you know, it's a fair bit of money. And the other thing too is like, I hadn't been riding competitively in like 5 years. So I was really rusting. So I was like, that seems pretty dangerous. But at the last minute, I just said, screw it. I'm going to throw caution to the wind. We're going to do this damn thing. It's going to be fun, you know? So I did that. And then that day, well, I mean, Chloe, if you want to tell the rest.
Yeah, so I was supposed to go to that thing. I was actually supposed to ride his horse. But then the morning of that I got there, they told me that a guy was riding that horse. So I rode another one. And yeah, we basically went there and rode together with a few other people. And yeah, started chatting and stuff. So yeah.
Welcome to the live stream, David. So does the horse story continue from the last live stream? Well, I don't know, because I think I have told this story before, but there was also it is also tied into the fact too that the horse I still have her actually, but no, I mean my family bought her I think primarily for my sister, and she was not in good shape when like she had been basically taken out of a really bad situation where original owners were not like taking good care of her, and she was kind of crazy. She still is. But the funny thing is, I was like maybe 9 years old at the time, and you know, this horse was throwing good riders into walls and stuff like that. She was always a sweetheart with me. She never tried anything, and so, you know, I was kind of a believer in her, and it paid off because, you know, despite the odds of you know, her health not being very good and the fact she was kind of crazy, things worked out. But it's funny how fate works out, because if that hadn't happened, I probably never would have gone to that show and we never would have met. So
that's true.
There's a lot of chances over the years that were overcome.
Yeah.
Do you think that humankind will ever bring model trains into space or to Mars? Would you elect to be the first man to bring model trains to another planet? No, I would not be the guy to send to space. I never want to go to space. Rockets terrify me. No thanks. But yeah, I hope if this Earth can no longer provide and humanity has to move on, I hope model railroading can continue. But don't put me on a rocket. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. I find it really funny because there's a video on the channel which is really popular of this engine. I think it has 9.5 million views or something like that. There are so many people that think the video is AI. because the locomotive doesn't look normal because it's like an ABA set glued together, but there are so many people and they're like AI at its finest, and it's like, it's not AI. What other hobbies do you indulge in?
You've lots.
Why don't you tell some of your...
Well, I think we're talking about you. But, what would you say for me? I like outdoors.
Yeah.
Doing a bunch of things outdoors.
ATVing.
Yep.
Snowmobiling.
Yep. Boating. Some sports. But yeah, but horses are a very big part of my life.
Yeah, for me it would pretty much just outside of the horses and the trains, it would be paddle boards and boats.
Yeah, paddle boarding is very fun.
And boats.
Yep.
Lots of boats.
Basically any kind of transport. They're like... Well, it's true. Boats. You like cars too.
Yeah.
Trains. Horses. It's all some sort of transportation.
English style or Western? We're mostly English.
Mostly English, but well, for my part, I also like Western. I don't ride it that much, but...
My sister's horse is Western. She has a Western saddle.
Yeah.
And yet he doesn't like rockets.
That's true.
Yeah, but your boat catches fire, you've got a pool of water to jump into. Horses don't spontaneously combust. Have you seen how many rockets they've sent into space and they've just poof? I would get on a rocket from 1969 any day before I'd get on one of the ones being launched today. I don't trust them. You know what? Modern technology is too complicated. There's too many things to go wrong. I don't trust them. I never want to get on one. Just as much as I don't want to get on a submarine to go explore the Titanic. I don't trust modern engineering. What kind of boats? I have a 1969 Sea Ray SRV and a Cataract bow rider. What kind of horses? Well, she has you have a draft horse?
Yeah, I have a draft cross. What's your horse again?
An American Paint.
American Paint, that's it. But we have all sorts of horses at the farm.
Somebody says the Locomotive is an AI locomotive above average intelligence. Horses don't spontaneously combust is probably the best line I've heard on the channel. Do you like any horses behind horses and
cats?
Horse and cat. Well, I like dogs too. We have a Australian Shepherd in the family. Other
All
animals,
sorts of animals.
I quite like geese. They're kind of mean birds, I'm not gonna lie, but that's kind of why I like them. It's because you go near them and they try to attack you. I just find it pretty funny. And what else? Yeah, I like the chickadees too. They're mean little birds. They're not afraid. We have a bird feeder, and all the other birds, whenever I go to fill it, they all fly away. The chickadees don't care. I could be like right beside them and
You
stuff.
like raccoons?
Yeah, I like raccoons. I like raccoons despite the fact that if you watch one of my unboxing videos, they ripped apart one of my boxes in the
That's
garage
true.
and stole all my Oreos. You must like the Norfolk Southern horses then. Yeah, exactly.
geese, you mean the Canadian Air Force.
Yeah, it's about as close to an Air Force as we have these days.
Quite literally.
But, they hold their own.
They're pretty mean.
Yeah, they are pretty mean.
They attack some people almost.
You were showing me a video recently there.
Yeah.
Of, this woman and this Canadian goose is flying after her, but I guess this guy was coming to pick her up. So she jumps in the car, except she doesn't shut the door quick enough, and the Canadian goose flies in after her. You see the door shut on the car for a second, then open back up, and they're going crazy trying to get this Canadian goose out. I haven't had a major altercation with a Canadian goose so
but
far,
I keep seeing people that have.
There was one time I was biking past one, and it was hissing at me. And I mean, they're pretty strong birds, you know. I mean, they fly for hours. They got a lot of muscle. So yeah, I've heard that they can attack very viciously. They got these wicked little teeth too.
Yeah. At this point, you'll be more scared of geese than like bears or anything else. Geese running the Canadian Air Force.
Would you build a military base on your layout if you had the room? I'd consider it.
Oh, that could be cool, yeah.
There's a military base outside Ottawa in Petawawa, and the Ottawa Central was actually serving that for a while, and so there's videos online of the Ottawa Central moving tanks and stuff like that. I actually have a friend who's in the military, and he's stationed up at Petawawa. Should do a video on switching at the Hershey factory. That's a good idea. Speaking of Air Force, are you a fan of planes? Not as much as other things, but I will say that Ottawa actually has a pretty awesome aviation museum. I've been there. They've got a bunch of stuff from the war and more modern things as well, and then some really old planes and stuff. My dad, when he was, I think about 17, was actually working at the aviation museum, so he has a lot of stories working there, cleaning off different aircraft and stuff like that. And it's really cool too, because the aviation museum sends a lot of planes over Gatineau, so there's constantly vintage planes flying over the house, especially on warm days. You see them going out there. It's pretty nice. Like, this thing hasn't had any runtime in a while, so I'm going to send it out. A few years ago, the city over here did a publicity stunt with an old bomber plane flying low overhead, neglected to tell everyone what was going on, terrified and loud. I'd imagine so. There were probably World War II veterans coming out of the house saying, "I'm ready to go out again." They're asking for it. I can't remember if I asked or not, but have you ever watched Connor and Friends? It's a web series that uses model trains from Canada as characters. I don't think I've seen that. Ottawa has a really good museum with steam locomotives. I can't remember which one, as it was almost 30 years ago. That's the Museum of Science and Tech. They still have all the same steam engines. They used to have a passenger car in there as well. They removed it when they did a renovation a few years ago, but yeah, it's still decent. The thing about science and tech is that I'm just gonna take this engine off because it's a little bit loud. The thing about science and tech is that it was only supposed to be a temporary operation. It was basically for Expo 67. So Canada was turning 100 years old, and so the government was trying to find creative ways to kind of celebrate the country. So they funded a bunch of different museums, and one of them was a science and technology museum. So they bought a former bread factory and they put trains inside it and farm equipment, all sorts of stuff. And it was only supposed to, I think, run for 1 year. But then 1 year turned into 2 and it continued on. And then they were like, okay, well, it's a former bread factory. Like, there's no way we can kind of keep this as our national science and technology museum. Yeah, well, it soon became 50 years later and they still hadn't moved, but they found asbestos in the building. Like it was an old building when they got it, and then it became more run down. So anyway, they decided to basically just overhaul the whole museum. So it doesn't look much like it did, but because the trains were there, trying to remove the museum was really hard. So they've basically just taken what was already there and just done an overhaul on it. I heard for Canada's 150th birthday, you could buy a year-long pass for unlimited rides on Via Rail for 150 and ride all you wanted. I missed out. I never heard about that. Maybe. Which was the best children's show, Thomas or Chuggington? I'd prefer Thomas, but I'm kind of biased because I never watched Chuggington. I don't know what year Chuggington came out, but I don't know. Thomas was definitely Thomas. I think has been around since like the 80s or something like that. So I was watching that, but never saw the other one. Do you have a reversing loop on the layout? No, I don't think I do. Can you run the Wakefield train? Sure. So I can only run the diesel engine just because a while back I had Sparky and Nathan and a bunch of other guys up here. And anyway, Nathan had an engine that he wanted fixed up, but something I thought was wrong with the decoder. And so anyway, we opened it up and it turned out it needed a 21-pin decoder. But to kind of write off the decoder as being a problem, I took the 21-pin decoder out of this and put it in his engine. And it worked for a while, but unfortunately the motor on that engine actually refried it. So I forgot to throw that switch back. So anyway, the decoder is probably still good, but I just don't want to throw it in the Wakefield train because I'm worried that if it has a problem, it might end up like actually transferring to the locomotive. The diesel's still mint. Sorry, Chloe. It's perfect. make a crash. Well, I don't have to do that intentionally. It will happen on its own after enough time on here. Run a -9. I already ran one. I think if there's anything else you want to see, you could probably make that happen. I think the Wakefield train might need some driveline components. It's definitely slipping. Is that a Mahano CN? Oh yeah, no, it's still running perfectly. I just put it on there because somebody requested it earlier. I mean, it's crazy, but like at the beginning of this live stream, this bench was clean. This bench was clean. This bench was mostly clean. A lot of stuff gets taken out. At Science and Tech, why is the cab of 3100 so barren? It's like there's barely any controls inside her. I think it's because they open that engine to the public. They just don't want people messing around with stuff or getting cut on things. So I think when they brought it to the museum, they pulled a lot of the controls out. I'm sure the museum probably still has all that stuff in storage somewhere, but I think just because they let people into the cab, they probably just don't want them hurting themselves for liability's sake. You just can't trust people. Some idiot would stick their finger between a lever and another thing, and then somebody else would push it, and they'd get hurt and stuff like that. So I kind of understand where the museum's coming from. Run a subway. Okay. Hey, Chloe, what was your genuine reaction to learning about Harrison's layout?
I thought it was pretty cool, honestly.
You should read what they said, though.
What? What?
What a nerd.
No, I actually didn't think that. I thought it was actually pretty cool, and because I've never seen anybody before have this kind of hobby, so I thought it was pretty cool and interesting. So that was my genuine first impression.
I guess the Walther's GP15 can handle the inside radius. That's pretty cool. Never mind.
It's a hobby that drains the money, that's the truth. Well, I can't really judge because I'm into horses, and that drains a bunch of money, so...
Yeah, model trains are expensive, don't get me wrong, but there's an expression that I've heard, if it flies, floats, or another word which I'm not going to say, rent it.
O-scale drains more money, if anything, in the whole world, in the model world. Chloe, how many horses do you have? I personally have one, and my sister has two, so technically we have three, but yeah.
How's the garage move? Oh, it's moving something slow. Water is still getting in the garage, and we have the guy back on hand, the guy who built this house at one time many years ago, so hopefully he'll be able to remedy it. But he keeps putting all kinds of different adhesives to try to seal the crack where the water's coming from, and the wall keeps filling up again, so I don't know what we're gonna do there. I think we should probably just leave the wall open, just let the water keep coming through. Do you have any... yeah, we've got some different vehicles. We've got some fire equipment there. Got a few police cars somewhere on the layout. Got a John Deere tractor. There it is. Here's one of the cop cars. Got the CN one right here. But yeah, in terms of construction vehicles, got a backhoe and something else. Crane. Harrison, my fiance called me a dork one time because I went for 15 minutes about a combination of lawnmowers, trains, boats, so no hard feelings. Have you seen Papa Jake? I've never heard of that channel, no. Harrison, do you like cheese?
No, he doesn't.
I can't say I do. I like it as an ingredient, kind of like how I like there to be flour in bread, but yeah, put some cheese on a pizza. It's good, but no, on its own, I do not like the stuff. And people always ask me why. They're like, it's delicious,
crazy.
and I'm like, well, Chloe likes it, so she's gonna fight me on this. But
Yeah.
my perspective is
Forever.
that the taste, the texture, the smell, none of them are good. So I don't get it.
I fully disagree. Apparently I'm a keeper.
I agree. What's your opinion on sub sandwiches, meatball, Italian, turkey?
Ooh.
I like them all. I quite like going to Subway, honestly. It's pretty... As far as fast food goes, I do feel like it is like a little bit healthier. Man, you're weird. Everyone you have is a traitor here. Is the Chesapeake on fire run? Oh yeah, it's better than ever. The Wakefield train off the main line. I'll get this running.
Do you want me to move the camera?
No, that's okay.
Oh. Do you know the Addams Family crash scene?
You ever watch Addams Family, Chloe?
I'm not sure. I think you made me watch it.
I made you watch it.
Okay, not made me, but I think I watched it with you. I like cheese for a snack, so am I weird? No, you're not.
I mean, I wouldn't call somebody weird for liking cheese. I just don't understand it.
Cheese is great.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Chloe, do you have model trains? Personally, no. But Harry would probably like me to own some. The correct answer is no, I don't have any model trains yet.
Yeah, Chloe, where's your SD9-2?
Oh, y'all have to build me a collection because I don't know anything about this.
She doesn't need a collection. She can just come over here and
Yeah, literally.
play trains as much as
There's
she
too many
wants.
here already. I don't need some.
In all seriousness, though, my grandmother told me for her birthday, all she wanted was to come down here and run different trains for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
That's what she asked for. So anyway, I can say this on here because she doesn't own a computer, so she's never gonna see this live stream and know that I said this. But I'm trying to fix up another one of her old locomotives. I feel like that would be a little bit more exciting instead of just running the Hiawatha and the Italian engine for 3 hours. But I'll see if I can include that in some kind of video. Plot twist, she's seeing this right now and knows every move. Well, if she is, she deserves it. So that means she'd figure out how to use a computer. It is honestly nice, though. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm terminally online or something like that. I feel like everybody is, like, definitely quite connected to the internet at all times and stuff. And you head over to her place and you could mistake it as being...
Yep.
Well, a time before I was even around. It's not some. She has a landline phone, and the only modern thing, she does have internet because she has an Apple TV. But other than that, you're not gonna see a phone or a computer or anything else. Nothing. It's very quiet. It's very peaceful. But yeah, other than the Apple TV, I don't think there's been a tech upgrade there since about the 80s, so pretty interesting. Chloe/Harrison, when you were growing up, what was the best piece of playground equipment? I say a swing/tire swing. Oh, I love the tire swings.
Yeah. Me too. I think I liked everything, to be honest.
I did too. The thing that was great is when me and Chloe were like kids, they still had all the dangerous play structures from the 80s and 90s where you could really get hurt, but they were so darn fun. Like, there was this one, I swear, it was like a story and a half tall. Like, if you fell off the top, you could get hurt, and some of us did. But we had a great time, and anyway, they ripped it out because it's too dangerous. And but it had this long slide and stuff. It was great. My favorite part though was this hollow section. It was like they'd taken a giant tube and they'd cut holes in the sides so you could climb up. But if you slipped, you would fall straight down.
Oh.
Yeah, it was hazardous. But yeah, it's gone now.
Yep. It's all hurt-proof now.
Almost off the grid. Yeah, if there was a conspiracy where people were worried about computers being the way of like finding people, her place would definitely be a good one to go. There's barely anything there. Just well, and sometimes she unplugs the phone, so you can't even contact her that way. You still have the T1 duplex, yeah. Have you thought about selling your layout? I wouldn't. A lot of people have suggested that I start over, and I mean, from a practical standpoint, there definitely is some, valid sides to that, but there's so many memories built into it. I don't think I could make a layout that would make me happier than my current one, even if it was more practical. And the other thing too is I'm never gonna get the money that I've invested into this layout back. It's like there's so much money dumped into the track and the grass and stuff like that. And I mean, you could sell the buildings and you could sell the track, but you're only gonna get a fraction of what you paid. Really, the only time I think something in model railroading appreciates is if it's like a locomotive or something, you keep it really pristine. That might appreciate in value, but in terms of stuff you put on your layout, you better like it because it's only going down in value as far as I'm concerned. What's your favorite U.S. railroad? BNSF. Have you ever played polo?
Like on horses?
Yeah.
Personally, not, but I would love to.
I never played real polo, but
I play like other games, but
in the camp, well, they wouldn't let us play real polo because we
No.
didn't have the equipment. But in the
also
camp,
that would be kind of dangerous.
when I was a kid, we'd play polo with foam noodles. That was pretty fun.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
We played like with a ball and stuff, like throwing it and stuff, but I don't think I did polo.
Never get rid of the Hershey factory. I don't intend to. I think the only time I would consider lending it is if either a museum in Smith Falls, which is where the factory came from, if they wanted to have it there, I'd be happy to lend it to them. Or if Hershey's actually does come back to town and they want it to be some part of the real factory, I'd be willing to loan it out. But I think what I would do is I would say you can have this on lease for as long as you want at zero cost. So it's, I don't know, it's an indefinite lease at no cost. I'd be happy to give it out, but I wouldn't want to totally lose control of it. Foam noodles, yeah. Yeah, those pool noodles everybody grew up with. You know the ones. It took me an hour, but the Tyco GP20 lives. Oh, right on. Do you have any Easter eggs or funny things on your layout? Well, I'm not gonna point them all out, but you know, if you look around, there's certain things which are a little out of place, or they're a reference to something. I'm from Japan. What do you think about Kato models? I love Kato. Really high quality stuff. I don't have a crazy amount of Kato stuff, but I do like their products. I'm very impressed too that Kato is still making their stuff in Japan too. Even their track, I was surprised to see, because there were some rumors floating around that they had moved production, and it's not true. It's still made in Japan, so very impressive. I'll show you actually what I bought from Kato recently. I'm pretty psyched about this. Everybody wants me to build like a Kato layout, so yeah, I bought a Kato starter set and then got a whole bunch of track, which will hopefully all go towards a layout. So that should be fun. Oops.
Almost dropped the phone. Girlfriend jump scare.
That's what it's about. What about Markland? I haven't worked with a lot of Markland stuff, but the few pieces I have, I'm quite impressed with. They definitely are well-made locomotives. I bought this one Markland engine. It was supposed to be broken. It was an old diesel, and the guy said it didn't run. So I was going to do a video on fixing it, and then I put it on the track, and it ran perfectly. So I'm like, well, I guess that's a little too high quality to fix. But everything's metal on them, so I think that they're quite well made. I have some locomotives that need fixing: a Bachmann 060 USRA switcher, an 040 dockside switcher. Any tips on how to make them put back? Buffer beams, size motors? No, not in particular, no. I mean, I don't know what brand those would be, but the smaller engines generally are pretty easy to work on. I remember watching a video of shaking a GG1 and it started working. Did you take that video? Yeah, I did take that video down. I just didn't think it was a very impressive vid. I know some people find it funny because I was, it was the whole setup for like a restoration video where I like set it up on the track and stuff, but it's like the video before it had a short circuit and then it went away. But after I put that video up, the problem came right back and it turned out to actually just be a light fixture, which was out of place and it was causing a short circuit. But sometimes it was freeing up and it was going away. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't think it was a very high quality piece of content. Could you re-upload? Yeah, I can publish it as a members video, sure. Do you still have a DCC Golden Eagle locomotive? And if so, may I suggest some future project? Yeah, I still have that engine, and yeah, fire away. If you have any ideas, I'd be happy to hear them. Atlas, Bachmann, or Varney? In terms of reliability, I'd have to go with Atlas. In terms of a cool vintage engine, it's Varney all the way. I don't hate Bachmann, but I think both other brands are better. Have you ever heard of the I Love Toy Train series? I recently bought a PCC trolley used in one of the episodes. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't seen all of it, but I remember, I don't know if it was an official channel or not, but somebody was uploading those I Love Toy Train skits back in the day, and I was definitely watching those. It used to drive my sister crazy because one of the characters from I Love Toy Trains was called Otto. He was always supposed to be messing things up, and I just thought that name Otto was pretty funny, and so I started calling my sister Otto, and she really didn't take to that too kindly, which made me do it more, and then I got in some trouble. Much love from Columbus, Ohio. Love watching all your repair videos. I'm more into tow skill, but I love your channel. Thank you. It was an official channel. Unfortunately, the creator of the series passed away. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is that the Chesapeake, Ohio engine that was smoking back? Yeah, that's the one. It's running a lot better than it once did, though, and recently I gave it a knuckle coupler and a headlight, so I think it's living its best life. Another character on the show that messed things up was Buster, a Delaware and Hudson SD45 that would always go too fast. I remember those skits too. Yeah, there's one where he like crashes through the back of a building. I'll tell you what, too, the I Love Toy Train series, I liked some of the original songs that they put together. Actually, I don't know if it was an original song, but like the one they had, American Freedom Train and stuff like that, I always loved listening to those. One thing I was not expecting, though, this was pretty funny recently on the subject of I Love Toy Trains music. I did the video on the Bachman track, and back in November or so, I signed a contract with Universal so I could basically get a blanket license and use a lot of higher quality music. I was looking for old railroad songs, and I found this old song by I think his name is Craig Palmer. It was, as I've learned, a very famous music artist. Anyway, I put this song called Old Number 7 in the video, and there were so many people from I Love Toy Trains, and I hadn't seen this episode before, saying, "Oh, this brings back so many memories. I'm so happy you included that song," and stuff. And I had no idea that it was such a popular song, and I guess it was also included in some railroad documentaries. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, it's crazy. This guy C. Palmer, how many songs he made? I had no idea. But he developed a lot of music for network. I think it was called Network Music, which I guess Universal owns, and there's a lot of songs from old videos that I'm now finding through that, which is pretty cool. Well, folks, in today's video, we're going to turn a half-eaten Subway sandwich into a luxury cheese clay factory fillet. That does not sound good to me. Network Music Ensemble made Old Number 7 song. Yeah, okay, so that was the song, I think, made by C. Palmer. Boy, someone wants you to pick out an engine.
You got an engine?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Any?
Yep.
I don't really know them, but
Today on Shopping at SMT Mainline, we have one of our customers at the store picking out a fine new locomotive. She wants the American locomotive. Must be nice not getting copyrighted. Oh, I still can. It's just if I use Universal Music, it's okay. There's so many other publishers, it's hard to keep track. Have you ever heard the song called Freight Train by Alan Jackson? I don't think I have heard that one. I've heard quite a few Alan Jackson songs, but I'll have to look that one up later. I do like Alan Jackson, though. Very chill artist. Have you ever seen the terrible movie called Atomic Train? Yeah, I have seen Atomic Train. I actually thought they did a good job, at least in terms of the acting and stuff, but it's not one of my favorite movies. I mean, it's so depressing. Like, everything that does go wrong, everything that can go wrong does go wrong. Having an SMT Mainline live stream that goes longer than 2 hours is always a blessing. I appreciate hearing that. picked out an SD70 ACE.
Yeah, I have no idea what I picked, to be honest, but
I think this particular one, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's called the... Yeah, it's the Essential Workers Unit. So I guess I think it was Montana Rail Link when 2020 was going on. We all know what happened. I think they put this out here as sort of like a keep going, people. I believe that's why it's covered in all the stars in the red, white, and blue. It must have been encouraging. I obviously in Canada never saw this thing in person, but if this thing came through my town, I would like it.
yeah.
Have you ever watched the Snowpiercer movie and series? I have not watched the Netflix series, but I have watched the movie. Excellent movie. Really well done. It's a bit dark, but I love it. Do you think it would be possible to add a second power torque motor to it? So the Tyco engine I added DCC and sound to, it's probably possible. I feel like it might be bad for the decoder because the current draw is probably kind of high, but I know it's possible as a fact to put two power torque drives in the same engine. Do you have any Reading Railroad? I moved from my hometown and I haven't seen any. I'll have a look. I might have one. I can't find it. Haven't seen this channel in a long time. How's it going? Not bad. How are you? I like Montana Rail Link, but I wish the B&O Railroad was still around. Such a well-rounded company. And I mean, what else are you gonna own if you play Monopoly? When will your next giveaway be? I don't know specifically, but I'll do something soon. Have you watched the movie Tough Guys, which features 4449 as practically a main character? I sure have. That's one of my probably all-time favorite movies. I like how lighthearted it is. I mean, I like the dark train movies as well, like Runaway Train and Atomic Train and the other one there, Snowpiercer. But in terms of like a lighthearted train movie, I think it's great. I find it kind of interesting watching Tough Guys 2 because I think that a lot of the movie was supposed to be about... I mean, I don't want to spoil it, so if you haven't seen the movie, mute this part out. But, you know, I think a lot of the movie was supposed to be about guys from the 50s adjusting to the 80s. But, I mean, now you're watching this movie, you know, 30, 40 years removed from that. So it's funny seeing what was new then also being retro too. That movie kicks major ass. Yeah, for sure. I've actually wanted to find a really cheap, broken down Bachmann GS4 and take gold leaf. Try to make it look like the gold coat. You know that model train he pulls off the cake in the movie? I want to have a model of that. Gold electroplated brass. Okay. Did you Get out one of your lifelike F40s and pull some freight. I like that idea. There's one from the Garden State. Mint. Harrison or Chloe, please answer me. Atlas, Bachman, or Varney, my locomotive brands on fixing these engines are HO scale. One is missing a side rod.
I have no
Are my locomotive brands for fixing these locomotives in HO scale. One is also missing a side rod. Well, I already said which my favorites were for that. There's 2 train movies starring Kevin Bacon. End of the Rail Line Ties, which are totally, completely different. One is a comedy and one is super depressing. Have you ever watched Titanic? Oh, I've seen Titanic many times. When I was younger, I was obsessed with the Titanic. I like the movie, but I mean, I don't know. Apparently there's a lot about it which is inaccurate. Emperor of the North. Yeah, Emperor of the North. That was that movie that came out and everybody, I guess when it was released, thought it was supposed to be some sort of a kid's movie. But it's actually, I think a lot of people apparently when that movie came out thought it was a movie about going to the North Pole on a train, so they thought it was a kid's movie. And I haven't seen it, but I guess there's a lot of scenes which are violent or something, and so I guess a lot of theaters at the time got angry comments back. Any repair videos coming up? Yeah, I'm currently fixing up a Tyco Chattanooga. What's one of the rarest trains you currently have? It would probably be the Hiawatha. I don't think I own too many other super rare engines. The Canadiana Sharknose is somewhat rare, but I think that might be more of a geographical thing. You know, a lot of like Canadianas, like even the C430s, which are not that rare. I see those going for a fortune on eBay, but at train shows in Canada, I find they're a dime a dozen. Have you seen the Lego Orient Express? I can't say I have. you have any trains with the old Canadian Pacific livery? Well, it depends what you're talking about. I have some which have the Pac-Man paint scheme, and then I've got others which have the really old one with the gray and brown scheme. I can run both. Can you name any railroad companies that silently went away? Silently went away? Well, personally, I would say the Hull-Chelsea-Wakefield Railway, because that never actually technically went out of business. It just was forced to close because of the washout. But mainstream companies that just kind of disappeared, I don't know. I don't know how the Rock Island fully ended. Because I know the Rock Island was kind of existing as a bit of like a zombie railroad for quite a few years, and there's some crazy footage where I guess the Rock Island was so impoverished that they had to keep their passenger trains running and couldn't hand them over to Amtrak because that was one of the few things that was still making the railroad money. But some of the train stations were being like dismantled, and you still had passengers boarding trains in them and stuff, like just wild stuff going on during its final days. Although the Rock is not technically dead, because somebody, I think in 2017, has officially revived the Rock Island, so I don't know how they did that. When's your next unboxing video? If you haven't gotten any parcels or boxes yet, you should get a Delaware and Hudson locomotive. It also the number, the F40. I don't know when the next unboxing is going to be. There have been a few parcels sent in. David, who I think is in here, sent one in for my birthday, and another guy, Robert, sent one in. It's a third one. I don't know who it's from, but we got some. We got some mail, and there's also a whole bunch of eBay parcels waiting to go. Conrail sort of faded silently. Well, from my understanding, Conrail still exists in some weird way as a service provider for Norfolk Southern and CSX. Don't quote me on that, but I believe a couple years ago I saw they still had like a website and everything. Is the video with the P.O. box still private, or is it back up? No, it's still offline. The P.O. box is open at the moment just because eBay stuff and, just general purpose thing, parts and stuff for the channel are still running through there. But, if I buy something off eBay, I don't really feel guilty if it sits around. But if people are sending stuff in, I don't really love that it's going to be sitting for weeks on end, and just fundamentally, I just don't see really things speeding up production-wise around here with just the way things have been going with the noise levels at the house and the activities around here, and the fact that the move to the garage hasn't gone super fast. So, yeah, I think I'll leave that shut for the time being. Can you run your dad's 280 consolidation? Yeah, sure. I don't know where the tender for this is, but try to see if it will start here. Yeah, I don't know. Come on, little buddy. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna make it. Are those buildings made by Walthers? Some of them are. Gonna have to do some sort of a rebuild on that engine soon. Are you gonna have a video for the outside track? Probably not. I don't know. Running trains outside is kind of cool, but I just think it's more exciting when they're actually pushing through snow or something. Help me out. Your HO, your layout is HO, and the layout. Yeah, so this layout is HO. That one right there is N scale, and then that tiny little track right there is Z scale. Run the Z scale train before calling it a night. They've spoken. I'll try. Can't make any promises on this one. Just need to go fetch a controller. I'll do you one better, T-scale. I don't have any T-scale stuff. I don't know how people can run T-scale stuff. I already find these things, like, tricky to handle. Okay, good. So we've now got some kind of an electrical system. Let's see if we can find a actual engine run. Totally gonna pop in for the next live stream. This was fun. I wonder if there's power in this. No, I don't know. Is the controller shorted? Yes, it is. Something does not look quite right to me about that wire strip right there. Yeah, it doesn't exist on the other side. Where did this come from? I'm so confused right now. Oh, crap. So the drive doesn't have one of those strips on the other side. So, is it missing a contact or? Unless this is all bunged up. Okay, let's do some diagnostics here. So the engine is fine. So then is it the contacts that are all messed up? No, the engine runs. So the contact system is working properly. So the question is, why is it not running when I hook it up to the layout? This is not making sense to me. The strip is contact that goes to the wheels is likely held in place. Okay. But then why isn't there one on the other side? Just checking that bin, see if there is another contact somewhere in here, because I was storing all the Z-scale stuff right here. What happened to the Z controller? I don't remember there being a Z controller. I thought when I did the video, I just powered it off a Bachmann controller. So I remember a bunch of people at the time telling me not to turn it over a certain voltage, otherwise it could be bad. Yeah, I don't see any other contact strips, so I don't know. Unless this is in charge of holding something, like maybe it's in charge of holding the trucks down. I don't understand why when power is being applied directly to the engine, it's firing up. Unless the track just hasn't been used in so long. Maybe it's oxidized. The thing goes on the top of the loco. Yeah. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, it kind of looks like maybe it's supposed to slot in on the side here. I feel like maybe this is supposed to, like, you're probably supposed to remove both the trucks like this. And I bet this just kind of just goes right in place. You can kind of see where. But I have a hard time believing there's only one on one side. Yeah, okay, so that's good. Just need to find that other contact strip, and I think we're going to be in business here. Dig out some of the other Z-scale stuff too here. a little wood carrying car there. Yeah, I don't see the I don't see that other contact strip. Huh. It can't be that far. Can you please run the Hiawatha? I could definitely run the Fox Valley one. It'd just be nice if we could get this thing running again. I'm just trying to think of where that other contact could be. If that contact strip is gone, I'm sure I could replace it with a thin piece of metal, but I just find it weird that one was intact and not the other. I wonder if it'll run with one in place. Yeah, like that looks good. There's a lot of dust on the table. Yeah, that bottom shelf needs to be cleaned off there. I don't know why this one set of wheels is different from the others. Like, it just seems to power up regardless. I'll try it one more time here, but I think maybe without that power wiper, it's not going to work. Nothing. Well, I'm out of ideas. I'll get it working again, there's no doubt about that. I just need to find that wiper. As for running that Hiawatha, I guess we'll swap that off the main line. Yeah, there was a bit of an event there. The next repair video, everyone. It might be. At some point when I had that engine on one of the layers in storage, that contact must have fallen out. And it's probably there because I've never taken that engine away from that shelf ever since I built it. So I'm sure it's still around there. Can we see? The Hershey factory is disconnected at the moment.
What about the Swedish loco that used to run near your house?
I don't have a decoder for it at the moment.
What manufacturer made that high water?
Fox Valley.
Can we see some big boy before you end it?
I don't know if any of the big boys I have are running at the moment. I'm pretty sure in one of the previous live streams I tried to run my newest one and it had a problem.
Would you happen to have a NNWG 611V?
I don't think I do.
What's your favorite brand of truck?
I personally just use Atlas Code 100 and Pico switches.
Chloe, what time is it where you guys are? It's 11:51 p.m. here. Same time. Why are the big boys so unreliable? LOL.
They're old and they have a lot of moving parts.
Tomorrow is holiday for Canada, right? Are we? I don't think so.
I thought there might have been
Maybe. I don't know.
something Labor Day. I don't know.
Oh, probably.
Something's going on soon. Not Labor. I don't remember. Smallest locomotive you have.
Victoria.
Victoria. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. $7.53 here in Alaska.
In Alaska.
Alaska.
Go film some northern exposure. Go film some outdoor boys.
Hello from Germany.
Hello. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but my grandmother on my dad's side was actually from Germany. She's from Hanover. So every day when she'd pick me up to go to school, she'd say, "Guten Morgen." I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Run your super duper duper chief as a finale for the stream.
Super. Okay. Sure. I wonder if it would. No, I don't think it will run on the inside circuit.
That's the big thing?
SMT, what will you do when you hit 200,000 subscribers? If the channel hit 200,000 subscribers, I'd be pretty jazzed, but who knows? No idea.
This one?
Yes. $5:55 a.m. Outdoor boys just ended their I saw that. It's really tragic. For anybody who hasn't seen the channel, it's hugely popular. I think they have 10 million subscribers, but it's interesting to watch. It's called Outdoor Boys, and it's this guy, and he goes out and does these survival videos, and he builds these like temporary shelters in the middle of like a blizzard and stuff like that. Very interesting stuff. But yeah, I think he just announced that he's retiring from YouTube or something like that. You can do it 200,000. Well, we'll see. Live stream has now been going for, I think, over 3 hours.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you release the creature, the cat? I don't know where he went. He was here at the beginning of the live stream and then he wandered off. Yeah, he's an old man, you know. He's kind of like an old battery. He sits on the charger most of the day and doesn't do much, but we're happy to have him. At 200,000, running Sella off the layout again. Well, there's an idea. Of course, I upload a video where, you know, for the 200,000 subscriber special, I run in a Sella off the layout, and a bunch of people get ticked that I destroyed a good locomotive and unsubscribe, and then it goes back below. What's your record? I think I did a live stream for 4 hours once. Wait a second, the channel is at 169K. I knew it was at 50K. Time flies by. I've been watching your channel for a while. Love the videos. Keep up the great work. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, the channel has grown quite a bit this year. The layout videos were very popular, I've got to say. What was your first loco? It was a Lifelike GP40, I think. Something CN. It was part of the Rail Charger train set. Smurf Cat is a big boy. He is old and has a lot of moving parts. Huh. Well, that was weird. I wonder why I did that. Well, the switch didn't fail. That stayed shut, so there's the engine. Oh, looks like we got a super chat. Here's a gift for you. Thank you, Gary TM. It took the switch. Yeah, I don't know why. Let's see if it does it again. Hopefully not. I feel like I've destroyed enough equipment in this live stream. How to make an LED reversible. Well, I think the D in LED stands for diode, so it just depends which way you wire it. So like, I think when somebody wires an LED reversing light, I don't think they actually add another diode. I think the LED just has that built in. But if you're having a problem, flip it around. It should fix it. Anyways, I think we'll finish off the live stream here. Thank you all so much for joining in this evening. It's been a lot of fun running trains. I'd like to give a huge thanks to Chloe, too, for enduring running trains with me for 3 hours. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful night or evening or morning, as some of you are saying, afternoon. Anyway, have a wonderful day, everyone.